Well, Ben, I suppose what is the feeling around the club? We heard from you guys yesterday. It seemed to be sort of calm stations rather than panic stations. But what's the vibe today?
Yeah, the same. We had a lovely morning, to be honest. We celebrated Jack's 250th. So Sonia, our president, came in and did a lovely presentation and spoke about Jack's journey, and all the players were there, all the staff were there. We had a staff gathering again yesterday, which was already planned ahead of time. And the mood is good, it's positive. We're not delusional. We know it's tough. We know we're going through a tough trot, but the vibe is really strong and positive in the club.
So just to comment on what you had to say yesterday, Ben Buckley said when David arrived, and it was a ambition that was backed by David, that the club would be pushing for top four within 2 to 3 years. You were saying yesterday that we're exactly where we thought we'd be.
Yeah.
So what's changed?
Yeah. I think I can't speak for Ben. I think Ben was speaking more about ambition. That was his ambition for the club, and it's great to be aspirational in ambitions. So that's what I'd say about that. Since that time, we've gone through a rebuild. It's a very public one. We've been on the record about that. And so in terms of where we thought we would be at as a club, having looked at other rebuilds, successful rebuilds, this is what we expected. Are we frustrated? Absolutely. Would we like to be a little bit more competitive? And would we like our margins, our lost margins, to be smaller? Absolutely. But we're not surprised that we're in the position we're in, because this has been the journey of other clubs that have gone through the Super Cup.
Then the three recruiters that left, did they leave with your blessing, or did you try to convince them to stay? What were the circumstances?
I think, look, there are three different individual circumstances. I don't want to get into too much of the detail, but what I will say is this. Mark Racine, who's been here for 17 years, fantastic person, fantastic North person. His whole family's fantastic North people. He received a great offer, and he received some security that we couldn't match. You know, we don't have that luxury to be offering fixed-term, long-term contracts to our staff. No one in this club has a fixed-term, long-term contract. Not me, not the coach. So when you get offered like that, then, you know, when you've done 17 years and done a great job, then you've got to think of your family first. Same goes with Benny Berthasell. Poor Benny's, you know, he's been stood down, stood up, been put on part-time, he studied in HR, gets a job in HR, in the HR field. He's got permanency, he's got security, he's got a young family. You know, it's a no-brainer. And Glenn Lovewell, I mean, we've all talked about that, you've all heard all the noise about that. We were shocked about that, we were disappointed, we would love to have kept him.
The talker last night from Eddie Maguire and Caroline Wilson was that he resigned because he didn't feel supported enough by the club.
I think there's a number of reasons why Glenn has left, and that's one of many reasons.
Are you disappointed that a week out from the mid-season draft, your club is struggling, wins and losses, and three have left on the same day?
It's not ideal, Sam. Obviously, you don't want to lose three recruiters at this time of the year. But what I would say is that, and you would know this, mate, the work for mid-season draft has been done in the past few months. We know we've got 5 or 6 blokes that we're very keen on. We've known about that, and those names have been presented to the board 2 weeks ago. So all the work's already done.
So when you talk about staff leaving and you're in the midst of a rebuild, I mean, surely the worst department they can leave from is the recruiting in this space. Like, how much is it a blow to where you're at in your rebuild?
Yeah, what I would say, Drew, is that we've still got Brady Rawlings and Scott Clayton. Brady Rawlings, list manager from West Coast, was there when they helped build that list that won a flag. He's still here and he's running the show. Scott Clayton, I don't have to talk about Scott Clayton's bona fides. So we're comfortable that those two, with extra support, will be fine as we lead in the next few months.
Just on having staff that don't feel supported, as a CEO, how does that sort of sit with you? Is the club united? Have you addressed the staff?
Yeah, I have. We spoke to the staff yesterday. We already had something in the book planned for the staff yesterday. We had about 3 hours with the staff yesterday. It was a strategy going. The staff feel united. They feel happy. And that's not just me just saying that. We do biannual checks. We do culture checks, and we test engagement of our staff, the happiness of our staff. And all of that tells us that our staff are united and happy. We're disappointed that we're going through this rough trot at the moment, but that is expected. You know, we're not performing on the field to some people's expectation, not to ours. We knew it was going to be tough. and we're taking the players. We get it.
North has always been considered, a people really, a club that really takes care of its people. There is a perception out there, though, that perhaps over this short period of time, those people haven't been taken care of. Obviously, that's something that you very much disagree with.
Yeah, I do. I do disagree with that because we've got, I don't know, 300 full-time, part-time, casual staff, including all the players, and the vast majority of our club is telling us that they are satisfied and happy and united.
Ben, why didn't you get on the front foot the other day instead of doing an interview with club officials? Why not get on the front foot and talk to the media straight away?
I did a couple of interviews last week. I did an interview with you, I think, Sam, last week or the week before. I haven't been shying away from it. That session we had yesterday, which was the coach and Brady and myself, we sent out an invitation to our members a week ago. So it wasn't a knee-jerk response to all the noise that's going on. We weren't trying to hide. I'm here today in front of all of you.
Ben, why do you think Glenn would have felt unsupported?
Well, that's a question for Glenn.
Do you have any theories though? Like, are there any things you do differently the time again?
Absolutely. Could I, the management team, could Brady, could the club be better? We could always be better in so many areas. So we're not putting our head in the sand saying, hey, it's not us, it's him. No, we could always be better, and we strive to be better every day.
Have you made that call to find out why he might have felt unsupported?
Yeah. I've spoken to Mark and I've spoken to Luffy, and I'm not going to divulge private conversations, but yeah, I've spoken to both the boys.
Did it come out of nowhere, or did you see it coming?
The Glenn Luff one? Yeah, we were surprised. And, would we like to keep him? Yes, we would. And I made that clear to Glenn, even, when we chatted and the door's open. If Glenn wants to have some time, have a bit of a spell and come back, the door's open, his job's there, we'd love to have him.
I guess the chatter in the background has been around whether the players that some of those men picked are actually the right players. I mean, Kane Corns said you can't pick players off the computer screen.
Yeah.
Do you, despite the fact that they're gone, do you support their decisions at the recruiting table, and do you think that you do have the right list going forward?
I think that, and we were talking about this internally recently, this is a high-performance industry. We're very accountable. We have a list management committee, and many of us are on that list management committee. We have robust debate, we have argument, we challenge each other, we pose questions. That's what we have to do. We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't question and challenge each other.
And former players declared today that this is the lowest point that the club has been in sort of 30 odd years.
Yep.
How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so we've seen those comments, and look, whether it's Wayne Carey or whoever, we say to them, listen, you're great Shimbonas, we love you. Come into the club, be part of the solution, and help us through it. So that invitation is there, and we'd love to see them down at the club.
To all former players?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just going off what Laura was saying, Wayne Carey, said the club was broken and he put out an offer to help with the club in any way. Would you welcome him back here?
Wayne Carey is our greatest player. I employed Wayne Carey when I was running Austereo. So if Wayne Carey is making an offer to this club, we would gladly accept that. And, I got a call from Corey McKernan this morning as well. Same thing. I said to Corey, whether it's you, whether it's Kingy, whether it's Wayne Carey, all of you are always welcome here. This is their club. We wouldn't be here if not for them. They built this club. So we'll gratefully accept that, and we'd love to have them down the club.
What do you make of suggestions of disturbing relationships between the players and the coaches? What do you make of disturbing relationships, or alleged disturbing relationships between the players and the coach?
Well, I think, and I've said this a number of times, I speak to the players, our PDM speak to the players, our coaches speak to the players, the head coach speaks to the players. The players are happy. They are happy. That's what they are telling us. They're highly engaged. Jack, the captain, has been out, I think, twice in the last week and really aggressively defended the coach. So, I can only go on what the players are saying to us and what the captain is saying about his relationship and the players' relationship with the coach. The coach has our backing, has my backing, has the board's backing, and as you've heard, he's got the players' backing. So they're saying they're happy. They're saying he's created a great environment, a safe environment, and they're enjoying coming to work.
So despite sort of suggestions around Adam Simpson, Alistair Clark and all this sort of thing, David's your man?
He's our man.